In the West, people can freely criticize the actions of Muhammad, and believe me, there is much to criticize. But in the East, to question Muhammad is a real death sentence. Is this even the same religion? Sadly, it is. We've been going through a series about Islam in the East versus Islam in the West, and today's topic has to do really with, can you even ask questions about Muhammad, about his actions, about his character? Example, for instance, about the fact that he caused his own adopted son to divorce his wife because Muhammad lusted after her. Can you ask questions like this? So,
Ouch.
brother, I'll turn it over to you. Yeah.
Can you, if you even ask this question in this manner, man, I would be amazed. Even if your head is on your neck, on your body.
Well, that's why I have the head covering. That's why I have the head covering too.
That covering will not save you, brother. Your bones will be shattered. You literally use the word lusted? How dare you?
Yeah. I know. May God, may the God of the lust of Muhammad forgive me.
But at the same time, that's exactly what happened. In the Islamic scriptures, it simply says that he looked at the woman when his own adopted son wasn't there, in less than normal type of clothes, and I'm just trying to censor the word for our audience.
Yeah. And what we're trying to say here, Adam, and I want to emphasize to people, we're not mocking Muhammad. We're asking you, this is the guy that the Quran says he is the example for all creatures. Does this sound to you as an example to go to your adopted son's house and peek and look at his wife naked, basically taking a bath? Is that the character you want to follow? Go ahead, brother.
Oh man, you're talking about taking a bath. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the more sugar-coated explanation of it, where he saw her in less amount of clothes. I'm not even talking about naked. All right. And yes, you're right. There are references of her being naked as well. But let's say less amount of clothes. Still, when Muhammad actually looked at her and spoke with her and he saw Zaid is not there, he took a U-turn and said, Subhanallahi muqarribul qulub.
Muqallib al-qulub. He turns hearts, basically. Yeah.
So Subhan is the Zat of Allah who turns the heart. So, and that's exactly what that lady, his own daughter-in-law, told Zaid, who is his son. And Zaid went to Muhammad and said, take her. I'm going to divorce her. You take her. And then suddenly...
because Zaid knew what's going to happen to him if he doesn't. Yeah.
Very well said, brother.
He wants to have a head above his shoulders. You know what I mean?
Very well said, brother. And then in Islam, in Quran, the only marriage that has been done by Allah himself, who is on the seventh heaven, is the marriage of Zainab and Muhammad, because in Quran it says, and we have married her with Muhammad. Imagine that, the only marriage that Allah himself did is the marriage of Muhammad's own daughter-in-law with Muhammad.
And I'm not surprised, because Allah reads the Fatiha all the time anyway, so he would have done that in the marriage. But all that to say is this: compare this now to the story of King David, whom God rebuked for lusting after someone else's wife, causing that person to die so that he can fulfill his lust. And God basically exposed him in the Bible. And our Muslim friends get upset then. They use this as an example of corruption of the Bible. If that's the case, I'm going to use the same story in the Quran as an example of corruption of the Quran then.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. By the way, nobody will say that Quran is corrupted. By the way, every Muslim who's watching this, and they are so blown away by what we just said, go read Quran chapter number 33, verse number 36 to 37. You don't even have to read any tafsir. Just look at the verse. Read these two verses. Read and comprehend what it is saying. Then go and read Al-Qurtubi. Then go and read Al-Tabari. And you will see what it says. Then tell us, Is this an example of Muhammad? And my question remains the same. Can you ask this kind of a question in the East? You cannot. In the West, we have been asking that. They are trying to give us answers, which does not make sense at all to any logical person, even if we just read the Quranic verse, let alone in the East, you can never even ask that. But because of this issue, you can actually adapt a girl at the age of 4 or 5, because I am removing the age 2 or smaller, because some of the muftis actually came and said when she is actually breastfeeding, after that you cannot do that. So let's adopt a girl at the age of 4 and 5. Let's say she became at the age of 14 and 15. You find her attractive. This is your adopted daughter that she played in your hands. You can actually marry her because of what Muhammad did.
Exactly. Muhammad set the example for that. In fact, even adoption is not even permitted. I mean, can you think about that for a second? A religion that is promoted to us as a religion of peace, and a God that is presented to us as a compassionate God and a merciful God, does not allow you to adopt people who are in need of compassion, mercy, peace, and provision. Isn't that amazing?
Unbelievable. Quite frankly, when I was in Pakistan and I was like told that no, we shouldn't adopt. In Pakistan, we have a big issue where if a woman cannot give birth or a guy is not capable of giving the seed to the woman, they actually have a bigger issue because they cannot adopt. And I was like always thinking, why can't they adopt? There are so many adoption houses. We call them yatim khana, the orphanage house. Sorry, I lost the English word for that. The orphanage houses in Pakistan. Yet people are not adopting kids, even though there are so many cases where the woman cannot give birth. A man will marry one woman after another, because the man does not have the, the woman does not have the audacity, let me just say that, to ask the man to go check yourself as well. Maybe it's you who is not capable of giving birth or giving seed. But at the end of the day, adoption houses in Pakistan are filled with kids. Nobody adapts.
That's right. That's right.
That's the reality.
Unfortunate. It is really unfortunate.
Quran chapter number 4, verse number 23 makes it very clear. And that is when in 2018, if I'm not mistaken, 17 or 18, let's just put it, or 18, 19, Iran actually allowed it, legalized it, that you can marry your adopted daughters. There was a big fuss in the Sunni sect and the Sunni countries, of especially in Pakistan, where I come from. But yet again, at the end of the day, what happened? You know what happened? Nothing! Because they just gave chapter number 4, verse number 23. They just gave that. Like, come on, read it.
I mean,
it's allowed.
That's what I'm saying. They are following what the Quran taught. What is wrong with that? I mean, they're not really changing the wording. They're just following the command. An example. We have an example of it. And it's recorded to us in the Quran, not just outside the Quran. So what's wrong with following that mandate? If you're telling me he is the best of creatures, he is the example for mankind.
Absolutely. And let's look at the example of the mankind. He was hallucinating, because now we are talking about this sex drive that he had. Let's talk about that as well, hallucinating. When I was speaking in India, in the news channel, they actually ran that and then they edited that out. You know why? Because it was just so derogatory. It was just so bad that Muhammad hallucinated when he apparently was under the influence of magic. And you know what the hallucination was, brother? That he was having sex with his wives while he never had that. Brother, what kind of a hallucination is that? Isn't that like a sexual maniac?
Exactly. The guy is just so obsessed with those kind of behaviors, to the point, even when he is bewitched, if you wish, he still thinks this way. And he has no problem reporting it to us as well. I mean, it's almost like he wants his wives to know what he was thinking about. He wasn't thinking about the affairs of the Ummah. He was thinking about his own personal affairs. That's the guy who is recorded to us in the Quran as Qudwatun Hasana. He is the best example to follow.
And for the Muslim audience in the Pakistan and India, we call it Aswatul Hasana because our pronunciation is a little different than the Saudi pronunciation.
Well, even,
but you know, that's the Aswatul Hasana.
There are reading Uswatun Hasana, of course. I mean, walakum fi Uswatun Hasana, Uswa wa Qudwa. It means the one and the same. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. And this is Sahih Bukhari 5765. Guys, Muslims, please go and read it. How can a prophet, Uswatul Hasana, who is the example for the whole mankind, entire world, Rahmatal lil Alameen,
that's right,
would hallucinate having sex?
He is, and again, I was saying the meaning behind the verse. It is qudwa. That's what people say today because that's the easier way for them to understand it. But uswa and qudwa mean one and the same. But notice he is rahmah. He is a mercy to mankind. How in the world can you be a mercy to mankind when you have destroyed a marriage, when you have taken a child to be your wife, when you have killed innocent people simply for expressing their opinion, technically speaking, in objection to his teaching? And even if you don't say that they're innocent, don't they have the freedom? I thought Islam promotes freedom of opinion and freedom of expression and freedom of religion. Why does Muhammad need to even silence his opposition?
Really? Islam does that? How about freeing women? The only son that Muhammad had was by a slave girl, Maria Qubtiya. The only son, Ibrahim, basically.
Well, I mean, there is, of course, the tradition that he did have also sons from other wives, Khadija, one example, for instance, but they all died, whether he had him for Khadija or Maria al-Qibtiyya, they all died, technically speaking.
Yeah, the Maria, like, you're absolutely right, brother. I have read those as well, but all of our, at least Pakistani scholars actually call them da'if. They call them, and they do not call them as a authentic references. But yes, you are absolutely right. But let's look at Maria Qubtiya. Maria Qubtiya was given to Muhammad as a tomato or a potato or a mobile phone as a gift.
Yeah, she was
and Muhammad took that. Yeah. Muhammad took that, and then Muhammad had sex with her, right?
Why am I not surprised?
Never married her, right? She is not one of the Ummahatul Mu'mineen, brother. It is written in every single reference for the first 700-800 years of Islam that Maria Qubtiya cannot be called Ummahatul Mu'mineen, mother of the believers, because Muhammad did not marry her.
Right.
Never, brother.
Yeah. So folks, this is why we bring up these type of issues for your sake, if you're a Muslim watching this. Now, don't get angry at us. Go and investigate the sources for yourself. Wait, maybe you don't even know how to read Arabic. That's the problem. So maybe you should trust at least those who took the time and the risk to translate it for you in really academic sources sometimes. Just go and investigate and find out for yourself. Don't listen to us. Go and investigate it for yourself. That's what I want you to do. Next time, brother, what are we planning on talking about?
We're going to go further on the same very topic because it's not finished yet. We are going to see the signs of Mu'min, because we ended at Maria Qubtiya, which is slave. One of the best sign of Mu'min. We'll see that next time.
Very good. You've heard the man. Thank you so much, everybody. Until next time, have a blessed day. Take care. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. And ring the bell so you will be notified when we release new content. Our mission is to reach Muslims with the gospel of Jesus Christ and help Christians engage with their Muslim neighbors. If you want to join us in this life-changing work, please support us on patreon.com/CIRA International, or just click on the link below.